Very good morning to all of you and welcome to the session, the Hindu editorial analysis for proficiency in English. As usual, let us start with the snippets. The very first one, updated administration. Here you can see updated administration, new Kartavya Bhavan inaugurated in capital. There are two words you have to focus on, and one more word is there. Tell me what part of speech is administration. Administration is a noun. And if you take the person, good morning, Naidu. If you take the person, Naidu, you should answer this. And Shrikant also. Administrator, masculine gender. Tell me what is the feminine gender. Good morning, Pravalika. All the three try to answer. Administrator, masculine gender. What is the feminine gender? That is very important. Only a few can answer. If you answer, it is outstanding. Administrator, masculine, administratrix, that is feminine gender. Administratrix, only a few know this, that you have to know. And coming to the word inauguration, you got to be careful with spelling inaugurated, inauguration. Very good. Who is this? Bhuvaneshwari, wonderful, I appreciate that. And Pravalika also, good. And coming to inauguration, inaugural function, welcome function, freshers day. When you go to a college, as soon as you enter the college, you start your college days. Then now I see others also like Chandu and Pravalika, wonderful. And Tirumala Rao also. The first function is called inaugural function or freshers day. And at the end of the year, academic or calendar year, it is farewell party. Inaugural, farewell. Both the words you have to know. Coming to the next one, capital, capital. TOL, capital of a state, capital of a country. This is a spelling. But capital, TOL, it means the administrative building, especially in Washington, D.C., in the USA. The name for the administrative building is known as, what is the name? Capitol Hill. That also you have to know. Otherwise, nothing, it goes with administration. Let us go to the second one. Competitive exams. You're all preparing for competitive examinations based related to you guys. Yes. TRIX, that's right. In place of TOR, Uday Kumar, you have to write TRIX. Here, competitive examinations, Aadhaar phase ID to ensure transparency, says center. Ensure. Ensure means what? To make sure of something. Ensure what? Transparency means openness. When it comes to competitive exams, face Aadhaar. Here, Aadhaar face ID. That is going to make sure, ensure something. What does it ensure? Transparency. Transparency means, yes, rare talent. That is the word I was talking about. And also Sangeeta. Very good. And who else? Chandu also. Good. And here, transparency means openness, being very open. When you see the reporting verb says, you have to recollect the rule. I have told you guys many a time. If the reporting verb is in present, present perfect or future, the tenses don't change to a corresponding past tense. And that goes with indirect speech, you have to know. Coming to assessing situation, assess, assessment, assessing. RBI body votes to hold repo rate at 5.5%. Hold, held. All are easy words, but you have to read that article. Prospective bankers, you got to. Very important. What is the opposite of transparent? Opaque. That also you have to recollect. Very good. Who has written opaque? Kranti Kumar. Wonderful. Meticulous plan. I use this word quite often. Many of my students, they are quite familiar with the word meticulous. I always tell students, when you read a sentence, you have to read the sentence meticulously. Meticulously means looking at the minutest details and respecting every word, every letter. Meticulous reading, careful, cautious. Meticulous plan. China's stand has lessons for a vulnerable India. China has taken a particular stand, and the news says it may have it has lessons for a vulnerable India, vulnerable to be in a weak situation, in a situation where someone can harm you or someone can exploit you. You have to read the article, only then you understand. Determined moves to safeguard economy. Another important word, safeguard, means what? To protect. But you have to read that article to know what exactly it talks about. Coming to the next one, big decision. Pakistan pulls out of Asia Cup hockey. We have a phrasal verb, pull out. In this context, what is the mean? Prone also you have to recollect. Kavya, very good. And pull out means not to participate. A particular team pulls out of the tournament means what? It is not going to participate. Pull out, an important phrasal verb. Otherwise, nothing to learn. It is not about cricket. It is about hockey. Now let us go to the headline from today's The Hindu paper. Trump hikes levy on Indian imports to 50%. Till yesterday it was 25%, and he has hiked the levy. Goes with tariffs. Levy, you can also think of the word impose, and they go with taxes, tariffs. And one more word you have to focus on, hike. I'm sure all of you know. Mission aborted. Hike means what? To increase. But hike has another meaning. Hiking as a noun. Hiking and trekking, there's a subtle difference. Hiking means long walk in lowland areas, and trekking, long walk in mountain region. That also you have to recollect. On Indian imports to 50%, 50% from 25%, he was threatening. He said he would go in for penalty as well, besides the 25%. And slap, impose, very good. Who is this? Ganga. And 25% to 50%, doubled. Definitely targeting. It looks like India is in trouble. Trump hints at Vance for 2028 presidential run. Hint to tell indirectly. At Vance, you all know the USA, if you take, they have the presidential elections once in 4 years, and a person can contest, hold the office only twice, 2 terms. And Donald Trump, this is a second term, means he cannot contest, no third term. Keeping that in mind, the incumbent vice president of the USA, J.D. Vance. Vance, he has hinted, he is going to be the next, he may contest as the next president. Trump hints at Vance for 2028 presidential run. Coming to the next one, Karol Nawrocki inaugurated as a Polish president. There is one country, Poland, and those people are known as a Polish. Hypocrisy, you have to recollect. Double standards. Yes, Naidu, very good. Nothing to learn from that. I have already told you guys the meaning of inauguration. We have today's editorial is about this news item. Here you can see the pic. 190 rescued in Uttarakhand after flash floods. Yesterday I read out one news item, flash floods and flash dance, mob dance, all these. Coming to this flash floods, you have to recollect words like inundation, deluge, submerge, torrential rains, all these. 190 rescued in Uttarakhand after flash floods. You can see army working, and all this is like dirt, muck, silt. War footing. This is an important one. I usually give this. Imagine some sort of emergency is there. We try to put in more effort and we try to work quickly. Then we say the army is working on war footing. Have you heard of this any time? It has been given a few times. Work on war footing. Respond and work on war footing. War footing means emergency. You are on your toes and you try to do things keeping that emergency in mind. Army personnel searched through debris at Dharali in Uttarakhand on Wednesday following the flash floods. They are searching. And today's editorial is about this one. So more information and more consolidation when we go to the actual editorial. Coming to the next one, SC sets aside, there's one important phrasal verb. Set aside means what? Keep aside. Agile, yes, Naidu, very good. It goes with being quick in actions. SC sets aside order limiting the names for state schemes. Some order, Supreme Court has kept it aside, and it goes with limiting the names of state schemes. Next one, Supreme Court asks Election Commission for a detailed response on voter deletion. There's one word here, delete. Delete means what? To remove. And yesterday I read one news item. The areas with Muslim majority over there, many the names of many voters they have been removed. Regarding that, SC must have questioned. Coming to the next one, the last one, petrol lobbies behind E20 fuel fear campaign Gadkari. Here there's one important word. I don't know how many of you know. Lobby has many meanings. Where is that guy? He's in the lobby. That's a different meaning altogether. And it goes with star hotels and big buildings. We talk about the lobby. But here, lobbying groups, lobby. Lobby here means there's another expression you have to know pressure groups. If you take a particular government and when you talk about business or industry, there is a particular sector and the top players, the big wigs of that particular sector, they may try to put pressure on the government. In what form? They want the policies to be industry friendly. For that, they put pressure. And those groups are known as lobbying groups. And we also use the expression pressure groups. Have you heard of this any time? An important word. That's all from the front page of today's the Hindu paper. Let us go to editorial analysis. And today we have got a few important words. And this is the enrichment from the analysis. Let us look at the first word. But many of these words go with heavy rains. The very first one is muck, part of speech noun, meaning dirt, rubbish, or waste matter, a thick, messy substance. The word rubbish has another meaning. Some people talk nonsense, then we say what he says is rubbish. Have you heard of that expression? For that, some people, some students say yes, some say no. Have you heard of this expression? What he talks is rubbish. Rubbish means dirt and waste. But when we say what he talks is rubbish, means nonsense, not acceptable. A thick, messy substance. Word forms noun muck, verb, a regular verb, muck out a stable, adjective mucky. But we don't use it as an adjective. You guys have know about that. Word combinations, muck and debris, covered in muck, we do use. Muck out, rare. Synonyms, sludge, filth, grime. These words you have to remember. Last time I did one editorial related to scavenging, manholes, drainage cleaning. There we got the word sludge. Sludge means that waste material. And they try to remove sewer, another word you have to recollect, the pipelines, and carrying sludge. Filth. Filth means what? Dirt. Then you have to recollect, many of our students know. Filth means dirt. But someone is extremely rich, then what do you say? Filthy rich. We also say stinking rich. But what is the actual meaning of the word stink? Stink means bad smell. Filth means dirt, sewage, sludge. Very good, rare talent. But someone is extremely rich. What do we say? Filthy rich, stinking rich. Stink means bad smell. Filth means dirt. That you have to recollect. And grime also an important word. You have to think of what are the antonyms: cleanliness, purity. When we talk about cleanliness, we have to recollect the word hygiene, one thing. And everything is neat and clean, then we have to recollect two idioms. One is apple pie order. Apple pie order. The other one, spick and span. Spick and span, properly arranged. Coming to the next word, knee jerk. Knee jerk they use quite often. It goes with foul smell, aspirant, good. Rotten smell, rare talent. That's right. Bhuvaneshwari, filthy rich, stinking rich. Good. Kranti Kumar, I appreciate your contribution. You guys are doing extremely well. Miser, frugal, stingy. But frugal is a positive word, stingy, miser, negative words. Thrifty, frugal, positive words. And when someone spends money without thinking, what are the words we have to use? Lavish, extravagant, spendthrift, prodigal. All these words you should recollect. Aspirant, very good. Part of speech, adjective, meaning automatic and unthinking. More than automatic, unthinking, a response made quickly without thought. When something unwanted happens, the government may respond immediately without thinking. Then we say knee-jerk reaction, knee-jerk response. Word forms adjective knee-jerk, noun knee-jerk reaction. These are typical combination you have to remember. Word combinations, knee-jerk response, reaction, policy. All the three combinations are very important. Synonyms, automatic, impulsive, reflexive. Impulsive, spontaneous, and based, you have to recollect words like whims and fancies, emotional, and also without thinking. Impulsive, reflexive. Exactly. Antonyms, calculated, thoughtful, deliberate. Craggy, we have got for the first time. Today, we have got a few words we have got for the first time. And so many words quite familiar. Craggy, have you heard of this any time? Part of speech adjective, meaning rough and uneven, characterized by rugged features. How do you pronounce this? Rugged. Rugged means very rough. It goes with mountains, it goes with hilly regions, and it also goes with persons. Imagine someone looks very rough. Usually it goes with men, mind you. So a man looks very rough, then we say a rugged look. And they use those guys in advertisements, often used for terrain or facial features. Both can be used. A terrain, landscape, an area. Word forms adjective craggy, noun crag, a steep or rugged cliff or rock face. Steep means sharp. Word combinations craggy terrain, craggy face, craggy hills. But between the two, if you ask me, crooked is different, Pravalika. Crooked has a negative meaning. He looks like a crook. He's a crook. Means a very bad person. That is different. Rugged is different. And it goes with a person's appearance. It goes with a mountain region, hilly region. Synonyms, rugged, jagged, rarely used. A steep means a sharp. Antonym, smooth, flat, level. Commiseration. Even this word we have got for the first time. What does it mean? Part of speech noun. Sympathy and sorrow for the misfortunes of others. Condolences. Answer my question. Have you heard of this? Commiseration. No, I don't think so. Noun commiseration, verb commiserate, adjective commiserative. Rarely used. Word combinations offer commiseration. Social media commiseration means showing sympathy. Expression of commiseration. Synonyms sympathy, condolence, compassion. Compassion means being kind, compassionate person. He is full of compassion means he's very kind person. Indifference, apathy, an important word, disregard. In this context, you should also recollect words like callous, callous, stony, stony. These are negative words. But some people, positive or negative, they don't respond. They remain balanced, poised. And for those people, we use the word stoic. Stoic has been given many a time. And if you take Oriental cultures, China and Japan, they practice this as a philosophy. The philosophy is called Stoicism. They remain cool all the time. Positive, no reaction. Negative, no reaction. And very cool, like former Indian captain, cricket team, Dhoni, MS Dhoni. Cool, cool chap. Let us go to the next one. Outlier. This also we have got for the first time. And it has nothing to do with telling lies. Coming to the word lies, you should know one particular idiom. Please respond. How many of you know this? Have you heard of this any time? He tells white lies. Sangofoid. Oh, who is this? Sumant. Very good. I appreciate. Naidu Paidi also very good. Wonderful. And Sumant, I have seen that. MS Dhoni, Captain Cool. Exactly. calm, poised, composed, balanced. White lies means what? Never heard. White lies means we all tell lies. I don't think there's one person who never lies, rarest of rare, and perhaps one person. But lies are of two types: causing harm, not acceptable. White lies means harmless lies. To save one space, one may tell a lie. That comes under, it's a harmless lie. That is known as white lie, white lies, an important idiom. Part of speech, outlier, noun, a person or thing differing from all other members of a particular group. Anomaly. When you see the word anomaly, you have to think of aberration. Vishnu, why trivial lie? Ah, you mean lie? I thought life. Trivial means silly, small, not important. Word forms: outlier, adjective outlying, word combinations: statistical outlier, social outlier, better, climatic outlier. Synonyms: anomaly, aberration, also you have to recollect, exception, deviation. Antonyms: norm, average, standard. Now let us go to today's editorial. It is all about the natural disaster, catastrophic event, an unfortunate incident, a mishap in Uttarakhand. How does it start? Sleeping disasters. What do you understand, sleeping disasters? There are disasters hidden, latent, hidden, sleeping. That means any moment they may happen. That is the idea the writer wanted to convey. Sleeping disasters. When you read, you understand that. On the Uttarakhand disaster, the Himalayas, very important. The Himalayas. Himalayas, a mountain region. Before a mountain region, we have to use a definite article, the. The Himalayas, the Andes, the Alps. But before the name of a particular mountain, we should not use any article. If I write the Mount Everest, the Mount Everest, is it right or wrong? Dormant also you have to recollect. Who is this? Naidu, wonderful. Yes, Venkatesh, latent talent, hidden talent. The Mount Everest, right or wrong? Try to respond. Before the name, Mount Everest is the name of a mountain. Then we cannot use any article. They have given in a few exams. Only Mount Everest, Mount Abu. It is wrong. Yes, Naidu. SSC, they have given many a time. Coming to mountain range, we can use. But what is the main idea? Governments must. Helping verb must, it has two functions. One function to convey a personal obligation, and pathological liar, harmful lies. Okay, who is this? Sumant, very good. Pathological liar. All of you have a look at that. Main idea: government must monitor, keep observing silt accumulation, that loose sand at vulnerable points. If you take the foothills of Himalayas, the Himalayan region, certain points are vulnerable, and those points should be monitored. And from which angle? Silt accumulation, deposition of silt, loose sand. That is the main idea. But when you read this, you have to think of the framework. That is being very smart. It is about a natural disaster. So the framework could be, line of thought could be, what happened, where it happened, when it happened, how it happened, who is responsible, how many, what is the impact of that, and what does the law say, what is the role of the government, and what is the solution. There is a broad framework. The writer will take us in the same direction. The disaster in Uttarkashi district of Uttarakhand serves as a reminder of the permanent risk of what? Destabilization in the Himalayas. There's a permanent risk of destabilization in the Himalayan region. Achilles heel, Naidu, very good. Imagine there is a particular person, very strong, but one particular aspect he is not strong, and that aspect may bring him down. That is known as Achilles heel. They have given many a time, banks and SSC. It talks about the region because of developmental activities, especially hydro projects, hydroelectric projects, and infrastructure, laying roads. The region has become vulnerable. It's a fragile ecosystem. The Himalayas is a fragile ecosystem, but beyond the limit, they construct dams, they lay roads. Obviously, it is going to make a negative impact. Based on that, permanent risk of destabilization in the Himalayas. And now it talks about what exactly happened. At least four persons were killed. It killed four persons, active voice, past tense. Four persons were killed by it, past tense, passive voice. And at least 60 people appeared washed away after a mass of water, debris, and muck. We have got the word debris many a time. Debris, S is silent. Usually it goes with a shipwreck. It goes with a plane crash. Small parts scattered all over, we use the word debris. Muck, that dirt, what you see, triggered by torrential rain. When you see the word torrential, you have to recollect a few important idioms. Heavy rain, heavy downpour. We also say torrential rains. And there are two idioms: rain, cats, and dogs, heavy rain, cats, and dogs, rain in torrents. Both are important. Many people know rain, cats, and dogs, but you should also know the other one. Rain in torrents means heavy rain, torrential rains. Yes. Torrential rain hit the Kir Ganga River on Tuesday afternoon. Because of that, this is the impact. The flood hit hotels and residential buildings in Tharali town, situated 8,600 feet above sea level, where video footage recorded by residents showed giant waves of water gushing through the area, engulfing people and homes. What exactly happened? Huge wave of water. It talks about the flood hit hotels. The flood, you have to recollect words like inundation, deluge, floods, submerge, all these. The flood hit hotels and residential buildings in Dharali town, situated 8,600 feet above sea level, where some people must have taken, where video footage recorded by residents showed. This is an important word. Tell me, why is it important? When we pronounce Vishnu, very good, we say giant, but it sounds like GAINT. What is the spelling here? GIANT. There you got to be careful. Giant waves of water gushing through. Gush means to come out with a lot of force. When there's a fountain, water gushes out. Imagine I get a cut, blood gushes out through the area, engulfing people and homes. Engulf means to cover, to surround. Usually the word engulf goes with fire and smoke. We use the word engulf. In this context, water. Several Indian Army personnel are also feared dead, according to preliminary reports. Personnel. Personal, something personal, belongs to an individual. Personnel means employees. Personnel of the company means employees of the company. In this incident, unfortunately, some army men, they must have got killed. It talks about that. According to preliminary reports, the first part is very short, today's editorial. Second part should talk about why does it happen, what is the role of the government, what does the law say, what is the solution. The proximate cause, an important word. I'm sure many of you know the meaning of the word proximate, proximity. Tell me, what is the meaning of proximity? Proximity means closeness. And why is it important? People make a mistake. They tend to say close proximity. Answer my question. Close proximity, is that right or wrong? Close proximity. It is a common error. It is wrong. Proximity means closeness. Then we cannot use the word close. Have you guys got it? Here the reason, nearest reason, the proximate cause of the disaster is extremely heavy rainfall from August 3rd to 5th, with some parts of the district reporting nearly 30 centimeters of rainfall over a single day due to the monsoon and its active phase over North India. What exactly happened between 3rd and 5th? Heavy rain, and obviously this is monsoon time, and during monsoon we experience heavy rains, and right now it is a monsoon active in the northern region of the country. It talks about that. On a particular day, it seems that place received 30 centimeters of rainfall. The fury means what? Anger, fury. And we have one expression. What is that expression? Nature's fury. Have you heard of this expression? Nature's fury means nature's anger, rage, also you can think of. The fury and the volume of the water that gushed through the town seemed to suggest that this was a sudden event, prompting state officials to categorize it as a cloudburst. Because it happened all of a sudden, state officials declared that cloudburst. But editorial says something else. Here, editorial tells us what exactly cloudburst mean. What does it mean? According to IMD. And what happened, whether it can be termed cloudburst or not. If not, why the officials have labeled it cloudburst? What is the motive behind all these things? Next, two, three sentences. However, this has a very specific meaning in how the India Meteorological Department, IMD, the official forecaster, defines it. IMD defines a cloudburst, specific definition is there. And there's one important word, forecast. Then you have to become alert. In English, we have regular verbs, irregular verbs. Regular verbs take D or ED to form the past and past participle forms. Irregular verbs do not take, like go, went, gone, buy, bought, see, saw, seen. We also include there cut, cut, cut. Cut and put everyone knows, but six verbs you have to recollect: cost, cast, forecast, broadcast, telecast, hurt. They have the same forms. Many exams they have given, the program was telecasted, right or wrong, wrong. The program was broadcasted, wrong. The program was a telecast, the program was broadcast. Same form. How does it define? A large volume of rain of at least 10 centimeters in an hour over 10 square kilometers is what usually qualifies as a cloudburst. Now, what is the definition for cloudburst? There should be 10 centimeters of rainfall over a period of 60 minutes and covering an area of 10 square kilometers. That is very specific. The lack of weather radars at those altitudes means that the IMD is incapable of such a computation. That is a high region, hilly region, the foothills of Himalayas, and broadcasting can be used. Why not? ING form, no problem. They are broadcasting the program, nothing wrong with that. We are talking about the past and past participle forms. Over there, IMD doesn't have weather radars. Because of that, IMD cannot, computation means cannot calculate. It is not possible. Therefore, it could very well be that continuous heavy rain, because IMD cannot calculate, there is another possibility. What is that possibility? Therefore, it could be very well be that continuous heavy rain over the past 48 hours may have loosened the soil and combined with the craggy, undulating terrain. Undulating means wavy, unleashed large volumes of silt along with copious means abundant amounts of water. May not be cloudburst, according to the editorial, may not be cloudburst. Then what exactly happened? Possibility. Perhaps 2 3 days heavy rains. Common sense, what happens? The soil becomes loose, and that loose soil suddenly gushes out or starts flowing. That could be. And combined with the craggy, undulating terrain, unleashed large volumes of silt with copious amounts of water. Whether it was a sudden event or the result of a gradual build-up might seem only of academic interest. Whether it happened slowly or it happened all of a sudden, that goes more with academics, more of academic interest. given the loss of life, livelihood, and property. All these have been lost. The knee-jerk categorization as a cloudburst allows state authorities to claim helplessness. Now that question is answered. Why did officials classify this crowd burst? Because once they say it is a crowd burst, they can escape the responsibility. They can express the helplessness. Then no one blames the officials. The sentence talks about knee jerk means all of a sudden without thinking. The knee jerk categorization as a crowd burst allows the state authorities to claim helplessness. Then what happens? Sympathy from the public on social media, compensation. These are routine things that happen, offering prayers. Once it is projected as a freak phenomenon, freak we have got many a time. Freak means what? Abnormal, not normal, anomaly, aberration. Phenomenon, important word you have to recollect. Singular, phenomena, plural. Once it is projected as a freak phenomenon, the event only elicits, take out social media commiseration, sympathy from public authorities in the form of prayers and deep sadness and a predefined token sum as disbursement. Compensation, token sum, namesake, disburse to distribute to all the victims, families of the victims. The recent past shows that these are anything but outliers. Recent past says these are not normal. Outlier means deviation from normal. Climate change has increased the probability of extreme rainfall events, and therefore, the numerous infrastructure projects undertaken in the hills and the resulting debris act as latent explosives, hidden explosives that are triggered from such rainfall. Developmental activities result in accumulation of debris. They get accumulated somewhere, then heavy rainfall for 2 3 days, then they are like hidden or latent explosives, then the devastating impact. Following relief operations, the state government must, as soon as conditions are conducive. Now the editor talks about what should the state government do once the conditions are conducive. Conducive means what? Favorable. Review debris and silt accumulation at critical points in the state to buffer the inevitable damage from climate change. Inevitable, unavoidable. What the state has to do, it has to identify the vulnerable points and it has to monitor, review debris accumulation, and it has to act immediately so that it can stop the damage. Otherwise, damage becomes inevitable, unavoidable. It ends on that particular note. Now try to answer the questions based on reading comprehension skill. First one, what is the theme of the editorial? Central theme, main idea. Failure of meteorological departments, no. Devastation caused by natural disasters in remote areas, no. The need for proactive governance and monitoring in the face of Himalayan vulnerabilities. Answer is C. Yes, Pravalika, first one to get. Vishnu also. Try to answer Naidu, Manisha, all these Venkatesh. Wonderful. What is a tone? It is about a natural disaster. And tone has to be critical, tone has to be showing concern and caution as well. It is not celebratory, it is not detached, neutral, then no point in writing. It is not humorous. So, what is it? Critical and cautionary. Ah, very good. Within no time, you answered. What is the proximate cause of the Uttarkashi disaster as mentioned in the passage? What could be the actual reason? Proximate cause, closest to be considered. Earthquake, deforestation, extremely heavy rainfall between August 3rd and 5th. Yes, C is the answer for the third one. Which of the following best describes the writer's view about the term cloudburst being used? Officials have named it cloudburst. So, what is the writer's view regarding the official stand of calling that a cloudburst. Scientifically accurate, it helps people understand disasters better. It is a convenient term that allows authorities to escape accountability. What is the answer? No. Question number 4, C is the answer. They have used the term cloudburst to escape accountability, to escape responsibility. Not D. C is the answer. Which of the following best summarizes the writer's perspective on government response to such disasters? Generally speaking, what is the writer's view regarding the government response whenever natural calamities happen? Timely and well coordinated, limitations of poor countries. It is often symbolic and lacks long term commitment. Symbolic. Why symbolic? Some token amount as compensation, offering prayers and showing sympathy. All these are symbolic, but their focus should be on long term commitment. That is important. Lacks long term commitment. Now, mini mocks, questions based on exam topics. First one is based on error location. Try to read meticulously and spot the error. After months of considerable forbearance, means what? Patience. The statement by the Ministry of External Affairs pushing back against the US and the European Union for targeting India is significance. Vishnu is the first one, says C. Yes, C. What is wrong with C? Here we cannot use a word form significance because it's a noun. We need an adjective. What is the adjective form? Significant. Significance, noun. We have to use the adjective form. What is the adjective form? Significant. Now a question based on filler. The government stated that the accusations were what? And lacked any factual basis. You have to understand the context. Accusations not based on facts then can be justified, cannot be justified. Cannot be justified. Here, inevitable, unavoidable, ambiguous, vague, internal, opposite of external, calculated, not relevant. Indian government said those accusations by the USA, by the European Union, unjustified, cannot be justified. So, what is the right word over here? Unjustified. India is expected to its economic security and foreign policy choices despite external pressure. India wants to do what with its economic security? It has to protect. Contextual awareness, India wants to protect, a simple word. What is a better word? Abandon means to leave, conceal means to hide, ignore, why will it ignore? Dilute, safeguard. India will safeguard its economic security. India will safeguard its sovereignty. Means protect. Good, you guys got it right. Read carefully. The word is ostensible, in which here, which one is correct, in which sentence it has been used correctly. Ostensible seems to be true, may not be true. His ostensible generosity made everyone trust his intentions immediately. You cannot. The ostensible cause of the fire turned out to be a faulty air conditioner. This seems okay. He ostensible, grammatically wrong. The company ostensible, grammatically wrong. So what is the answer? Properly used in which sentence? B. Very good. I appreciate that. Coming to the next one. In which sentence the word manipulate used incorrectly? You got to be careful with instructions. Exactly, Kranti Kumar. Ostensible seems to be true, may not be true. Manipulate incorrectly. He tried to manipulate the data to suit his argument, correct. Skilled leaders can manipulate public sentiment during elections. This is also properly used. The manager manipulates the coffee machine. Odd combination. They manipulated the settings to get better performance. This is also correct. But what is the answer? Here it has been used incorrectly. Coming to effective English, today I have brought 5 phrasal verbs. All are easy. Try to get 5 out of 5. Look after someone. To take care of or be responsible for someone. Lay off. To dismiss an employee from a job. Look into. To investigate or examine something. Light up. To become bright or cheerful. Live up to someone's expectations. To meet expectations or standards. So, what is the correct order? Why those smiles? Laugh. Okay. 25314. Yes, Pravalika has come up with that. Chandu, all the 5 correct. Wonderful. What are the words? And I see Kavya also. Naidu Paidi, Sangeeta, Manisha, Aspirant, Vishnu. And who is this? Nishkala, Kranti Kumar, Venkatesh, Chirumal Rao. Wonderful. Let us go to the last slide for today. Today's editorial is a short editorial. All these words you got yesterday. Bully someone means what? Harass someone, trouble someone, torture someone, tease someone. Forbearance means what? Patience. To have a lot of patience. Forbearance. Sanctions has 2 meanings. He has sanctioned the funds, means positive meaning, but sanctions means restrictions. Sympathy and empathy, both are different, Sumant. When someone is suffering, you show concern. That is sympathy. Someone says something, you think from his point of view. That is being empathetic. Empathy means putting yourself in the shoes of the other person, thinking from the other person's point of view, empathy. But showing concern when someone is suffering is sympathy. Both are entirely different. Ostensible seems to be true, may not be true. Sovereign, politically independent. Manipulate, change someone using certain tactics. That's all for today. I hope you guys have got enriched. Thanks for being with me till the fag end of the session. Have a nice day. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. టీ చెప్పమని చెప్దాం అనుకుని మర్చిపోయిందండి మీరా బాయ్ ఉన్నాడండి ఒకసారి నా దగ్గర నెంబర్ లేదు టీ తెమ్మని చెప్తారా నేను చెప్తాను ఫస్ట్ ఫస్ట్ తీసుకోండి బాయ్ టీ చెప్పమని చెప్పాను చూద్దాం